All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to break down the explosive moment that kicks off a classic historical novel. We're talking about a simple street brawl that gets way out of hand, fueled by old rivalries and a whole lot of pride. This is the incident that literally lights the fuse for war in Roos van Dekama.
So picture this. It's the year 1345. The city of Haarlem is absolutely buzzing. Count Willem IV is back safe from his travels, and he's throwing this enormous festival to celebrate. I mean, the streets are packed, everyone's in a good mood. It looks like the perfect picture of peace in Holland.
But of course, there's a twist. The guests of honor, a delegation from Friesland. Now, these are a fiercely independent people who have basically been enemies with Holland for generations. So this isn't just a party. Oh no, this is high-stakes politics disguised as a good time. And this slide really nails the core of the problem. You've got the Hollanders on one side, basically in power, thinking this festival's a great show of goodwill. And on the other side, the Frisians. They're proud, they're suspicious, and they are definitely not here to party. They're here to negotiate. You can just feel the tension in the air, right? Meanwhile, down in the streets, the whole city is a stage. You've got performers everywhere, like this guy, a kokeler. Think of him as a medieval street magician, maybe part con artist. This one's named Barbanera, and he's working the crowd with his jester and a little ape to collect money. And this is where it all starts to go sideways. And it starts with something so small. The jester's ape is going around with a hat collecting tips. Someone tosses in a Frisian coin. Well, the jester, playing to his local audience, decides to make a joke and loudly yells that the foreign money is false. And just like that, what was a simple tip becomes this huge public insult. False coin! The words echo through the crowd, and you can just imagine. Everything stops. All eyes snap to the man who gave it, a big, powerfully built Frisian commoner named Feiko. Instantly, the friendly festival vibe is gone. The crowd turns on him, and that fragile peace is about to shatter. And man, things get ugly, and they get ugly fast. The locals start mocking Feiko for everything, his clothes, his accent, his money. They start shouting for him to be put in the stocks. Well, Feiko is cornered, he's outnumbered, so he pulls his knife, a uniquely Frisian weapon, to defend his honor. But it's no use. The mob is too much. They tackle him, disarm him, and tie him up. But then a new player enters the scene. Seerp van Adelen. He's a Frisian nobleman, dressed to the nines and just dripping with arrogance. And he is absolutely livid that a fellow Frisian is being manhandled by what he considers a bunch of peasants. Now, Seerp doesn't try to reason with them. He doesn't negotiate. He just walks right up, pulls out his own dagger, and slices through Fayosi's ropes. It's a massive power play, a total slap in the face to the local officials and the angry mob.
And that's the spark. That's all it took. All that tension that's been simmering under the surface, it just explodes. Mud, rocks, fists, everything starts flying. What started with one false coin has just erupted into a full-blown riot, pitting Frisian against Hollander. So now Seerp and Feiko are fighting back to back, but they are seriously outnumbered. And just when it looks like it's all over for Seerp, he's on the ground, someone's about to stab him with his own weapon. Two riders on horseback just crash into the middle of the chaos. They're knights, and they're from the Count's personal guard. These two guys, Reinout and Deodat, are basically brothers in arms, but they could not be more different. You've got Reinout, who's pure fire, impulsive, ambitious, and incredible fighter. Then you have Deodat, who's the calm. He's diplomatic, strategic, the one who can talk anyone down. Together, yeah, you do not want to mess with these two. And get this, their backstory is something straight out of a legend. They were foundlings, discovered as toddlers in a basket in Italy. No family name, no titles. They fought their way across Europe as mercenaries, and they earned their knighthoods from the Count through pure skill and loyalty. These guys are the definition of self-made men. So Reinout, the fiery one, just roars at the mob and they scatter. Meanwhile, Deodat, the calm one, starts talking to the local undersheriff. With their combined authority, they manage to impose the Count's peace, basically forcing everyone to stop fighting and putting a lid on the chaos. So you'd think Seerp would be grateful, right? Not a chance. When the undersheriff tries to step in, Seerp just scoffs at him. He claims diplomatic immunity, and then says any insult done to him I consider directed against me. He's basically saying, you insult this man, you insult me, and you insult all of Friesland.
And then, for the final act of absolute disrespect, the undersheriff suggests Sirp pay for the men who were wounded in the brawl. Sirp pulls out a handful of coins and just throws them on the ground at the official's feet. He's not paying a fine. He's making a statement. He's saying their justice and their wounded are literally beneath him. And his last words to the two knights who just saved his life? Is it thank you? Of course not. It's a warning. He tells them to go tell their count to get his people under control because a second insult would be avenged. It's a threat, plain and simple, aimed right at the top. So, the street is quiet now. The fight is over. But you can feel it, right? Nothing was actually resolved here. All that happened was pride got wounded, and these ancient hatreds got stirred up all over again. It feels like that dead quiet right before a massive storm hits. The brawl might be done, but you just know the war is coming.